How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. We're going to be talking about everything XRP. Happy Saturday wherever you are around the world. Let's analyze and take a look at what's happening with our good old friend XRP. So looking across the board, the market is actually picking up. As we can see across the board, we're seeing quite a bit of green right now, which again is always nice to see. As far as XRP is concerned, $2.17. We're down about 0.8% in Bitcoin compared with the valuation sitting at $127.8 billion and the 24-hour trading volume at about a $937.9 million. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So crypto sentiment rises to 52 neutral, up from yesterday's 45. So a little bit on the neutral side, less fear because, of course, BTC did go up. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I apologize if I said that twice, but that is really important to note. So BlackRock's ETF has seen 9 straight days of inflows totaling over 492 million. We're starting to see ETH inflows actually starting to increase quite a bit. So is this really a time to be focusing on altcoins? Is this really a signal for us that altcoin season is going to occur? Because usually when Ethereum starts picking up, historically speaking, ETH needs to hit an all-time high before you do tend to see alts picking up. So is this really a thing that we really need to be focusing on? Because we're really starting to see a lot of inflows coming in for Ethereum. So do these big analysts, these big indexes, or not indexes, I would say these big hedge funds and companies are seeing an opportunity on Ethereum side? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. But moving forward, Circle IPO surged nearly 300% in its first 2 days, outperforming debut performances from Meta, Airbnb, and Robinhood. And this is sending big signal as to what we can see happening when the likes of Ripple goes public. And Circle IPO 300% in just the first 2 days. That is quite a large increase. So imagine when Ripple does this. And I think Ripple is very strategic. Brad Gerlinghouse is a very smart person. They're not just going to go in when other companies like Circle are, and Coinbase went a little bit I think it was last year if I'm not mistaken. So they're being strategic. They are timing everything perfectly. And I'm pretty sure they're going to time this IPO. If they were to go public, they're going to time it right, because they haven't written enough that they're not going to go public. So that is something that we want to be keeping an eye out on. And I think as we do see maybe an XRP ETF going live, more and more innovation in terms of blockchain technology being implemented, that is going to be that opening zone for us. But look at this. Zoom says there are 2 ways XRP can move from here. One, go back down to grab liquidity from the $1.90 to $2 zone, consolidate, start blasting up for its final move up. Number 2, consolidate in the current zone and then start to make its final move up. I lean towards the second scenario. So he's saying, this consolidate in the current zone and then start making its way towards the upside. Before the dip we saw on Thursday, I mentioned that I expected a dump, and we got it. We did not get the $2 zone liquidity sweep, but we got 205, and it seems like that may have been enough. So again, I think we chop sideways from a bit, for a bit more, and then XRP starts to make its move to the upside. I believe that would be the final move up for XRP. So meaning that, that's it, that's the next leg up, and that would end the move for XRP. And it goes back to what I said, when Zoom made this original call, your boy Crypto ZX came out and said, that there is a lot of liquidity and a lot of key support at some of the levels above that $2 zone, and that has played out for us. So what we spoke about actually became true. Moving forward, take a look at this. National Cryptocurrencies post this: beyond the crypto headlines, major retailers and institutions are building crypto infrastructure, payment in minutes, business settlement overnight, lower fees for small merchants. The most exciting crypto news is also most quiet. And you can see payments. We're seeing some big names: Starbucks, Facebook, Visa, MasterCard, Walmart, Tesla, PayPal, Samsung, Square, Enterprise, Amazon, Cisco, AT&T, Intel, Google, Salesforce, IBM, Alibaba, Cloudflare, and institutions Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. I forgot which one this is. It's just on the tip of my tongue, but you can see, we're seeing some big names coming in, and this really shows you what's happening. Blockchain is being taken quite seriously, and these institutions are, focusing on blockchain pretty much for quite some time. And before, some of these institutions were kind of not big fan of the cryptocurrency or the digital asset side, and now they are coming in full force because they know what's happening. Moving forward, take a look at this. Breaking, SEC approves Nasdaq Crypto US Settlement Price Index NCI US to include Solana, Cardano, XLM, and XRP as of June 2nd. Expect many crypto ETFs to get approved in the coming weeks on this alpha index recondition. Effective June 2nd, Nasdaq reconstituted the Nasdaq Crypto US Settlement Price Index, which currently serves as a benchmark index for the trust. And you can see, guys, this includes 4 digital assets: ADA, Solana, Stellar Lumens, XRP. This is something we spoke about early this year, and it's actually starting to happen. Big stuff. And moving forward, Ripple is opening a new office in Abu Dhabi for Hidden Road. Ripple's 1.25 billion acquisition on Hidden Road is expanding to Abu Dhabi after FSRA approval. And these guys are moving in, and they're moving in fast. This is something I've said from the beginning. They're not only focusing North America, they want to go worldwide. And this, once again, is a perfect example. And this is why I know that Donald Trump wants to make US a global hub, because if US doesn't, there's other countries like China, there's other countries like the UAE that want to take part of this, and this is a perfect example for us right here. And moving forward, remember a 2025 Robinhood document on tokenization highlighted the success of Ripple's tokenization of RWAs on the XRPL ledger. Now let's take a look at what's happening with the price. So if you're looking at the dominance, still hovering around the 64.65%, so still showing a lot of strength. BTC, on the other hand, has picked up, currently sitting at 105,500, and we actually closed our daily candle above here, so we're still below the 106,600 resistance. We know the importance of that resistance, of course. Still having a little bit of a hard time breaking out of that range, but I do expect that that would be the level to be watching out for us in the upcoming days. But of course, we're in a weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual as CME futures are closed. But if you're looking at XRP's price right now, we're still sitting in the 23.6 fibs. I'm sorry, not the 23.6, the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, and you can see this for yourself. We're still hovering really nicely around this range. Yes, there is less volume right now. Obviously, it's a weekend. That's something we need to keep in mind. But we're still hovering within the 38.2, which is very, very nice to see, and we shouldn't really be ignoring it. But the target remains to be the 23.6, and then it's fireworks. So the likes of Zoom say this is going to be the last move for XRP. So are we going to reach an all-time high? I personally think this next move could take us towards an all-time high, and I kind of agree, historically speaking, as well, that next move should be the top of the cycle if history were to repeat itself. Now, because sometime this year, late this year, you should see the top for the market. So we'll see what happens. We're going to keep you guys covered. Let me know down below what you guys think. But if you're looking for the long term, I'm sure you guys can tell by the history as to what's really happening over time. If you're in it for the long term, your patience is your number one key to follow, regardless of the bear market or the bull market. Love you all. See you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.